Hello and welcome to this lesson from Simple-ESL, and today we are looking at storytelling and personal experiences. So by the end of this lesson, students will be able to share a story about a personal experience, use expressions and show interest and know how to react to those stories. So let's begin this lesson. Fantastic. So we're going to begin this lesson shortly. If you're interested in worksheets, use the QR code or the description below. We also have a deal to celebrate my birthday happening in February. We have a deal for the month of February running from the 8th until the 8th of March. If you put in the code E7049, you'll get 50% off the worksheets and lessons available on our Patreon. Now, have you ever wanted to tell an interesting story, but you don't know how to make it engaging? Maybe you've told someone a story and you didn't know how to respond. Storytelling is very powerful and it's a great way to connect to other people. And today we're going to learn how to do this confidently in English. So we'll start with the structure of a story. How do we build a story? We begin with the introduction. This is where we can set the scene. So when did it happen? Where did it happen? And who was involved? So last summer, while I was in Spain with my friends, something funny happened. So when did it happen? Last summer. Where did it happen? In Spain. And who? Well, it was me and my friends. So we've set up the scene and the people know what to expect from the story. And then we move on to, maybe we call it the main event. What actually happened? And we can describe this using past tenses, as it's something that happened before. So we went to Spain with my friends and something funny happened. We decided to go hiking, but we got lost in the mountains. So got lost, decided to go. These are all past tense. We're talking about something that happened before in the past. And all good stories need a resolution, an ending. So we're going to explain how it ended. So how did we get out of the mountains? Luckily, we found a local who showed us the way back. Now with a story, sometimes we can look back and try to learn things. We can reflect and add personal thoughts on what we have learned. It was scary at the time, but now we laugh about it. So we have our beginning, our middle, our end, and then in addition we add reflection, thinking back on what we have learned. If you're listening to a story, how should we respond? We should want to show interest. So let's show interest. We can say, really? So we can ask questions. What happened next? We can exclaim and say something was interesting, exciting. We can see the exclaims with the exclamation marks. We can see the questions with the question marks. So we can exclaim or we could ask questions. We can ask for more information or we could say how interesting, how boring something is. We could express surprise. If you're shocked or surprised by the story, you might show a little bit of shock. You're kidding. Seriously? That's unbelievable. Once again, we're exclaiming and we're using questions. We can keep the conversation going and we can ask things to find out more information. We can show something called empathy. If it's a sad story, do we want to seem like we understand that it's sad? Oh no, that sounds tough. That must have been exciting or scary. It shows that your emotions match the emotions of the storyteller. So we could say, oh no, that sounds tough. That sounds bad. Oh no would be for something bad. That must have been exciting. That's something that's good. And you could agree. So if you found it was scary and you thought, yes, that sounds scary, what could we say? I know what you mean. That's happened to me too. So this can show agreement to the story that you're hearing. What I'd like us to do, we're going to do a gap fill. I'd like to complete the story using the correct past tense forms. So last weekend to go camping. Everything fine until it to rain heavily. We to bring a proper tent, so we soaked. Let's have a look at the first one. We want the past tense for decide. So we have I decided. I decided to go camping. Everything, and the past tense of be. What's the past tense of be? It's was. The past tense of be was. Everything was fine until it started. Until it started to rain heavily. Now, what did we forget to do? We forgot. We forgot to bring a proper tent. So we look at end. What could we put on the end of end to get past tense? So we ended. So we ended up soaked. Now, a little bit of practice. You're going to have to do a lot of writing in stories to practice storytelling. So I'd like you to write a short story, 6 to 8 sentences about personal experience. You should include an introduction, so when, where, who, the main part of the story, what happened, how did the story end, and then maybe some thoughts about the story. And if you'd like to practice your speaking, why not try to find a partner and tell them a story? Then listen back to their story and react appropriately. That's interesting. That's amazing. Oh no, that sounds awful. And then swap roles and practice. If you'd like some more practice, do use the QR code next to me or the link in the description to get our lessons and worksheets from our Patreon. If you would like money off our worksheets, we have got a code below E7049. This will get you 50% off until the 8th of March. But today we have learned how to tell a good story that has an introduction, a beginning, the main event, the middle, the resolution, the end, and some reflection. We use past tense to describe these events clearly. These are things that have happened in the past to us. And we touched on reacting to stories with expressions to show interest, surprise, empathy, and agreement. So I'd like you to practice your own stories, maybe use, this way, the worksheet in the description. And I will see you in the next lesson where we'll build on this information with storytelling and learn some more English.